Hey guys, so I'm going to make a quick 6-week update. I'm waiting on a phone call from my specialist, so I'm going to try to make it quick. But I have had 2 ultrasounds. So today is Tuesday, April 4th, and Friday, which I don't know, I think that was March 30th or something, I went into the ER for cramping and dizziness. And they did an ultrasound. I wasn't allowed to see anything because it was considered an emergency, so I didn't get to see the baby, but I was told everything was okay. They gave me fluids, said I wasn't dehydrated, so I don't know why they gave me that. And then gave me some dizziness medication, told me I could take it. I still haven't because it's not miserable. And then yesterday, Monday, I went to my specialist for my technical first ultrasound. It was transvaginal, and I got to see the baby, and I got to see the heartbeat. It was at 115. They said everything looked good, and I've been cramping ever since. It's been pretty intense cramping all throughout the night, and then all today it's felt like period cramps, but then on top of it, like near my left ovary and my back, like on my left side, I've been having like severe sharp pains, like if I sneeze, if I moved, if I stand up too quickly, any kind of position change. It's been to the point of where like it's dropped me to my knees, like getting out of a car and then like just standing back up, like it hurts really bad. So I called my specialist today and I was like, hey, here's what's going on. I'm cramping really bad. Like, what do I need to do? Do I need to go to the ER? What's going on? They told me that, she's like, oh, well, I'll talk to I was the nurse. She's like, I'll talk to the doctor and see what he says, but he's probably going to tell you to go in the ER. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, do I have a cyst? Like, because they never told me if I had anything, and that's what I suspected it was because I have PCOS. And I actually ovulated from my left ovary, so I was like, do I have a cyst? Is that what's going on? Because that would explain a lot. So she went and looked at my ultrasound, and she's like, oh, wait, yeah, you do have a cyst and some free fluid around the ovary, which would make sense since I ovulated from that side, and I'm pregnant, so it's getting bigger and bigger until that placenta takes over. I'm going to continue to have a cyst because that's what's producing my progesterone for the baby. So that makes sense. So she's like, yeah, you have a cyst, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes more sense. I'm not as worried now. She's like, yeah, so I'll talk to the doctor and I'll call you back and see what he wants you to do. He's like, how would you, rate your pain? I'm like, well, I'm not in constant pain, but when I stand up, it's severe. I mean, it drops me to my knees. It's very quick. It feels like someone's stabbing me. It hurts, So they're probably going to tell me to go into the ER, and then they're going to do an ultrasound, and they're going to be like, yeah, you have a cyst. Baby's okay, blah, 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 blah. But I would hate to not go in for an ultrasound and then come back, because I have a 7-week ultrasound scheduled for next Monday, and then come in and then tell me, like, hey, something went wrong, like the baby's heart isn't beating anymore or whatever. But what scares me about that, or I guess not really what scares me, is if something's going to happen, God forbid, it's going to happen. Like, you can't necessarily prevent a miscarriage. You can just know that it's getting ready to happen. So, whatever happens is meant to happen. Everything happens for a reason. I'm a really strong believer in that. So, I'm just kind of trying to hang on and stay positive. I seen the baby's heartbeat yesterday. Everything was okay. My symptoms are still horrible. I feel horribly pregnant. The one thing they don't tell you if you've never been pregnant before is pregnancy is like really, really rough. At least it is for me. I had nausea early on. My first symptoms were like leg cramps and dizziness and insomnia. And now that I'm 6 weeks pregnant, actually I'm 6'1", I am miserably nauseous. I pretty much dry heave constantly throughout the day. I've always been known for a very strong stomach. Like, it takes a lot to actually get me to like regurgitate something. But I basically just like dry heave all day. Like, I've probably done it like 50 times already, and it's like 3 o'clock. Oh God, I gotta sneeze. It's gonna hurt. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So I'm just like really, really nauseous. I've tried ginger ale, I've tried ginger, like cough drop looking things, and they're horrible. I've tried Preggy Pop Drops, which seemed to help like when I was 5.5 weeks pregnant, but um, now that I'm like farther into it, I'm just miserable. They're not really helping anymore. They help for like the period of time it's in my mouth, and the moment it leaves my mouth, it doesn't help anymore. I've tried bananas. I've tried all kinds of things. So they prescribed me like Clegus, I think is what it's called. It's a new category A pregnancy nausea medication specifically for morning sickness or whatever they call it, for pregnant women. You're supposed to take 2 at night, but I haven't taken any yet because from what I've read from other women who have taken it, it makes you really tired, which helps at night, but I don't, like, I'm already miserable throughout the day. I don't want to add, like, being a zombie throughout the day to what I have. Like, I'm already tired, I'm already crampy, I'm already nauseous. Like, you take away the nausea and you add, like, zombie, it's not gonna, that doesn't even out. Oh, God. Sorry about that. Anyway, that doesn't help. Trying not to do anything on camera. So anyway, I'm not really sure. Since the nausea's getting so bad, I might actually take one tonight, just because, like, I don't know if I can handle another day being nauseous and like gagging all day. I am eating decently, I think. I'm drinking a lot of water. This morning I didn't eat until a little bit later in the day, like lunchtime, but I had a heated Subway sandwich, or a toasted Subway sandwich. Can't have any cold deli meats, but I had it toasted, and I ate about half of a 6-inch before I started feeling nauseous, which I was proud of. And then I had an apple, a very big apple, before I started gagging. And I haven't had anything since, and I'm actually starting to feel a little bit hungry, but my husband should be home soon, so we'll probably have dinner together. I'm not sure what. He's so confused. He's just like, oh, let's make this. And I'm like, if you mention that again, I'm going to throw up everywhere. So it's crazy. Pregnancy's going to make or break you is what I'm learning. It's hard, and from what I understand, having a kid is not going to get any easier. So I think that pregnancy prepares you for a lot of trials that you're going to be going through as a mother. So I'm trying to stay strong mentally, physically, emotionally, any other way possible. It's hard. I'm suffering from extreme depression and anxiety from my hormones. I'm very forgetful. I don't know. I'm actually thinking back now. Did I update you guys already about my ER trip? I don't know if I did or not. But they did my beta test again when I was at the ER, and I feel like I've told you guys this, so I'm sorry if I haven't. I tried watching my other videos, but anyway, I was a little bit under 6 weeks. I think I was 5'5" or 5'4" when they did that, and I was at 30,000. My level was at 30,000, so it was really high. But when they did an ultrasound, there's only one baby that they seen. I know that it's possible that since I'm so early that it's not 100% reliable right now. They like to wait until 12 weeks to do a ultrasound normally, just because, sometimes a second baby can be hiding or whatever. I really only want one just because I just don't think that I'm prepared to have two. But if I do have two, then I know that, we'll be more than happy with them, and we'll do the best that we can. So I think that that's about all that I have for you guys. I'm waiting for my doctor to call me back to probably tell me to go to the ER, which the ER is like $200 for us, like a copay to go into the ER, which doesn't make any damn sense to me. We don't get paid until tomorrow, so I don't know what we're going to do. I want to keep the baby healthy and happy, and me healthy and happy, especially, but if they're just going to do an ultrasound and tell me, yep, you have a cyst, yep, the baby's okay, Like, just for sitting in the ER for 5 hours, it just seems like a little tedious. So, but that's probably what they're going to end up telling me to do. I'll keep you guys updated. If I go in, I'll update you guys if anything different happens. Otherwise, I will post my 7-week update Monday, April 10th, I think is what it is. And we'll get to see the baby again before I move from the specialist to my to my OB, whoever I choose to do, which we're still deciding on where we're going with that. So I just wanted to tell you guys how everything's been going and how absolutely miserable I am, but blessed to be in this situation. Try to remind myself everything that I went through to get here, and that there are so many other women struggling just to experience what I'm experiencing, and how many times I've seen women complain about their pregnancy and how miserable they are, and how I would cry and just be like, I would do anything to experience what you're experiencing, even if it was nausea and everything else. Like, I would do anything for that. And it's really hard to keep in that mindset, because when you can't eat and you can't talk and you can't move and you can't sleep, things can get pretty miserable and you can get pretty cranky. But I'm trying to stay positive through all of it. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging in there with me, and I will post another update more than likely at 7 weeks on April 10th, probably a day later, probably April 11th. So anyway, thank you guys so much, and I will see you later. Bye.